My mom. People like my grandparents, my parents.
Some of my professional colleagues probably don't know. It's nothing that I've hidden, but some things just don't come up.
Most people in my life don't know.
Coming here and sharing about this openly could embarrass them.
I'm afraid that people will see me as less professional.
That parents would feel that I'm an irresponsible parent.
Despite it being more and more open, you still try to keep it a secret from your elders.
I didn't want people to judge or think differently of me or my capacity to do my job because of that.
If there's judgment, it's definitely coming from a place of not understanding and thinking in terms of stereotypes.
Loser comes to mind.
Lazy, unproductive, airhead.
That it would ruin your life.
Willing to break the law to have some fun.
Living life without really caring about what life is like.
You know what, I think, or I hope, let me put it that way, I hope that they would see how happy we are and how much we're doing with our lives, and maybe question, like, maybe I should smoke some marijuana. Like maybe that's the thing that's missing.
But let's not talk about it, because marijuana, you know?
My partner has lived for many decades with epilepsy, and once he started using the medicine, he probably had only one seizure in the last 5 years. I mean, how amazing is that?
Cannabis is just one way that helps me unlock a new perspective. And it's helped me connect dots, it's helped me have epiphanies.
Cannabis relaxes me. I tend to be a type A, overachieving type person. It just dampens me down a little bit.
It has inspired me in so many ways that I can't even fathom.
It allows me to be more compassionate, to see things from other people's points of view.
You know, is that weird? That I'm all for it, and yet I still feel nervous about talking about it?
I'm Dr. Ann Austin.
My name is Mark-Angelo Coppola.
Darina Stoyanova.
Cam Adair.
I'm Adam, and this is the love of my life, Melinda.
Today, we are coming out green.
I'm coming out green.
Today I'm coming out green.
And I'm coming out green.
Today I'm coming out green.
I'm coming out green.
I'm coming out green.
I hope that we can dispel any negative ideas about cannabis, you know, and if it's something that can benefit us, we need to learn to accept that.
I firmly believe that on any issue that we care about, it's important that we each take responsibility and speak up, because the voices together, that's how we can make some real noise and really make a shift.
My hand's free.
Does anybody in your life not know?
There's definitely family members that would probably be horrified, quite frankly. Now they'll know, I guess.
Most people would assume, but they don't outright know. Like, I don't think my mom and dad would ask just because they don't want to know.
If there's judgment, it's definitely coming from a place of not understanding and thinking in terms of stereotypes.
I'm trying to think if anyone would be upset. I think, or I hope, let me put it that way, I hope that they would see how happy we are and how much we're doing with our lives, and maybe question, like, maybe I should smoke some marijuana. Like, maybe that's the thing that's missing. We use it primarily, like, I kind of have a rule for myself, which is I just won't smoke if I have, like, really important things that still need to be done. I think it's a pretty responsible way of going about it. But so primarily it'll be something that we do kind of at the end of the day. We've gotten everything accomplished. Then we sit down at the end of the day and we say, let's enjoy just being together now.
I've never been more productive than when I started smoking regularly. Like, finding my power and realizing I can manifest things that feel impossible into reality, and I can make things happen just with sheer willpower.
I'm Adam, and this is the love of my life, Melinda. And we are the founders of Stray Mongrel Productions, among other businesses. And
Today we are coming out green.
I think it's insane how you can go, it's okay after work to go to a bar and have the beer and the wine, and no one questions that. But then if you're someone who goes home and smokes a joint or whatever, all of a sudden you're a stoner loser, unproductive. I don't get that. I don't know any stoner who's ever wanted to get high and then go fight some people. And I know a lot of people who do that on alcohol.
How would you define a responsible cannabis user?
A responsible human being. If you're a screw up on cannabis, you're probably a screw up in life. If you're a productive person who wants to do great things in life, then you're gonna be that person on cannabis.
What he said.
You'd be surprised at how many successful, wonderful, loving people are cannabis users. So do yourself a favor, come out green.
Okay. You told me there's some people in your family that don't know, right?
Yeah. Coming here and sharing about this openly could embarrass them. And not just embarrass them directly, but also from people, extended family and friends judging them for having a son that, you know. When I was 18, I was incredibly depressed. I remember we had soup for dinner, and I brought it into my room, and I was writing a suicide note in tears. And that night, a couple friends asked me to go hang out with them, and before going out, we had smoked some cannabis. We were laughing, and I was having a good time, and that helped shift from the pain I was in, the deep pain I was in, to just having fun and being light. And that night I came home and I told my father that I don't think I'm doing well and I need to see a counselor. That's one of 2 times in my life where I've had a major turning point from deep, deep pain and depression to the next few years where I feel like I had a lot of personal growth. But let's not talk about it, because marijuana, you know?
Do you think that people deserve the stereotype?
I think it's maybe. Maybe some people do. But I don't think that cannabis is necessarily the root. For someone who is checked out, who's just trying to escape, if that's part of the stereotype, there's something else going on, and I don't believe that cannabis is necessarily the cause of that. Cannabis is just one way that helps me unlock a new perspective, and it's helped me connect dots, it's helped me have epiphanies, it helps me relax. I'm a very driven, ambitious person, and being able to relax in that way has helped spawn so many ideas for me. I built a 6-figure business while smoking cannabis with my business partner the entire time. During the first year, we weren't really, as business partners, we weren't really getting along as well. And we started doing a ritual where every Sunday we would get together and we would just smoke cannabis with no agenda. And the revenue that our business had over the next 4 years dramatically shifted in a positive direction because it brought us together. I firmly believe that on any issue that we care about, it's important that we each take responsibility and speak up, because the voices together, that's how we can make some real noise and really make a shift. My father's gonna kill me, by the way. He's gonna be so pissed.
Who doesn't know in your life?
Well, among my family, probably my grandchildren don't know. And some of my professional colleagues probably don't know. It's nothing that I've hidden, but some things just don't come up. Most of them probably use cannabis also, and we just don't know that each other does.
Do you think about being judged about this?
I think the biggest concern I have would be any legalities. One never knows how the interaction of the federal and the state laws are going to play out. Early on, it was this maybe weekend, a few times a month with friends. Through college, it was more frequent, but it has never been every day. I think there are times when it's mind-expanding, altered conscious state is enjoyable and pleasurable, and it enhances creativity, and it's fun. It's a way of just relaxing into who you really are and letting all the rest of it fall away.
So what are all the different ways that you use cannabis?
Well, I smoke it the old-fashioned way. I use a vaporizer pen, which I vastly prefer because I have very sensitive lungs. I also use cannabis topically in a topical cream for my arthritis, and I find it's been much more effective than any other medicine I've used for that, such as NSAIDs or other pain relievers. I'm not a professional musician, but playing is a very important hobby for me. And I play keyboard and I play guitar. And so it was stopping me from playing, the arthritis, the pain, and just the inflexibility of my fingers. So once I started using the topical cream, and I get my hands warm, and then I put the cream on so I get more absorption, and it's wonderful. When I use cannabis for fun, it's to talk with people, my friends. We talk, we have fun, we play music, we laugh, we eat, and we eat. It is a bonding experience, and when you share that same effect, it helps cement friendships. It helps deepen relationships. It helps you explore new ways of being with one another. I'm Dr. Ann Austin. I'm an optometrist, and I'm a cannabis user. And today, I'm coming out green. This is what I use for my arthritis on my hands. This is hemp oil salve, and I rub a little bit on my fingertips. I have pretty bad osteoarthritis in both hands, and I just start massaging it into the joints. The effects are amazing. They're really amazing. It's immediate. Not only eases the pain of the arthritis, but it makes, I guess because there is less pain, my fingers are more flexible, and I'm able to do the things like playing the guitar, the keyboard, writing, even doing things like brushing your teeth that you take for granted unless you can't do it easily. And so that is how I use the hemp oil salve.
Are there people in your life that don't know?
Yes, most people in my life don't know. And the reason they do not know is because I didn't want to jeopardize the life and health of my mom and myself. My direct family knows because they have been using it with me, especially my mom who had cancer and who was the main reason I decided to go on this healing journey with the medical marijuana. My personal experience has been with my own condition, which is lupus, and epilepsy in my partner and seizures, as well as various forms of cancer in my mother and number of friends who I have helped with. Well, the lupus is a longer story because it has started more than 20 years ago, and it has been triggered by the Chernobyl accident, the radiation that hung over the Eastern Europe without us being told about it. It triggered the same rash you see on my face and my chest. That's a radiation cause, but it causes autoimmune condition, which in my case was lupus. So I had to live with that condition for 20 years, and it was not until I reached the point of using CBD-rich oil that I found not only relief of my symptoms, but for the first time in my life, and it was proven by blood tests, even my antibodies went into a norm, which was never achieved with anything else in my life. My partner has lived for many decades with epilepsy, and he has gone through tremendous toxicity just from the medications who were never able to stop the seizures. But once he started using the medicine, he probably had only one seizure in the last 5 years. I mean, how amazing is that? My name is Darina Stoyanova. originally from Bulgaria. I'm a management consultant and an artivist, and today I'm coming out green. So my main focus is the medicinal part, even if I don't mind the recreational relaxation and euphoric feeling and creativity that comes along very often with it. So these are all additional benefits that are welcome versus all the negative side effects which I had to deal with for the majority of my life, which have brought me to a point of literally, doctors have told me that I'll never leave the hospital, that I'll never walk again. Several times my doctor were asking me, "You're in remission, how come?" We rarely see lupus people in remission. They either are very sick and dying. It's a privilege to see somebody who's doing so well, not in my current stage with that rash, but just a few years ago. So because of that, they were very surprised, but at the time I didn't have the courage to share. I said, I'm doing alternative things that are working. And they said, keep doing them. So I have. I wanted to say that I'm honored, privileged, and proud, but most of all grateful to be a medical marijuana user and to share that with others.
Who doesn't know in your life?
People like my grandparents, my parents, definitely don't know anything about this. They don't know this side of me. And I'm a little bit nervous about telling them. I'm afraid that people will see me as less professional, that people might judge me or see me as just a stoner or somebody who's young and a hippie. The most common misconception to me is that stoners are all people who just want to go to the movies, eat munchies, and are just unproductive. They don't have ambition, right? And I think that misconception really puts a negative kind of space into what it means to be somebody who consumes cannabis. The fear is that people just don't see that. They just put me in a box or in a category that I don't belong and I don't want to belong. It bothers me to my core. It bothers me to my core because I've been using cannabis for so many years now, and it's helped me, and in fact, it's actually done the exact opposite. It has inspired me in so many ways that I can't even fathom. I mean, I can't imagine my life without some of those moments where I let cannabis kind of take me away. I let the mind calm itself through the use of cannabis, or I let the mind quicken and let the blood flow into my body and into my brain and see what happens from that. My name is Marcangelo Coppola. I'm a social entrepreneur, and I'm coming out great. Living the life as an entrepreneur, I am constantly going from one topic to the next, and I run 4 companies, so it's stressful. For me, cannabis allows me to kind of eliminate all that white noise and replace it with something more creative, more fun, more inspiring to me. And it helps me come out with ideas. Sometimes it helps me relax. And so for me, it does all of those things. And I think it's important that people know that. So to anyone who's watching, the only thing I can say is that living a life of truth is the only thing that we should all strive towards. And the truth is that cannabis is something that could be used for the betterment of the world.